Well, what's the crack? Blue Hydrangea here from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 1, and I'm here with a little mini-series called Blues Beats, where I will be bringing you a makeup tutorial for every single look that I will pull on the runway. It might not be the exact way that I did it on the show, but that's because we have time constraints and we have to do quick changes, but that allows me freedom of expression and creativity for this little YouTube series. Without further ado, let's get stuck into my hometown couture, serving you Harland and Wolf all the way from Belfast. See you in a bit. Okay, to start, I am going to use my MAC Full Coverage in NC15 all over my face, apart from my nose, because I like to keep my nose the whitest, so I use just pure white there. So now I just go in with my full coverage in white with my finger and just spread it on my nose, and anywhere that we missed, kind of just fill in the gaps. To make myself super womanly, I just bring everything forward. So your chin, your cupid's bow, your nose, and your forehead. And then I just use my beauty blender and blend that all together. I start normally on the skin tone part and then on the white, just so that the white isn't pure white. It still has a wee bit of the skin tone that's left over on the sponge. And then I contour using my 7W paint stick. The cheekbones, the forehead, the beige rainbow. And I like to just cut here as well. I think I saw Vanessa Van Mateo doing that, so I thought I would just copy her, because why not? She's beautiful. Sponge that out. I quite like this quite blended because it really does warm up my skin, as I say. I don't like to be ghostly white. So now I'm going to go in and contour my nose using the same product. I was told once that my nose was too fat in drag, so I really like to pinch it as a big FU to the queen that told me that my nose was fat in drag. I'm also going to go in with the same cream and just carve out my eyebrows while everything's still wet, because then you can make mistakes and you don't have to worry about it. Today I'm going for a very thin, sharp, angular brow. I want to be like true to Harland and Wolf and the era of the Titanic. This is a very gothy Ken doll eyebrow. R.I.P. Shout out to Gothy, she left me a gorgeous glitter whenever she left. I went back into the workroom afterwards. There was a little glitter. It was the one that I used for my queen to make me all silver. Such a sweetheart. And the last thing I like to do just before I powder my face is just use a wee bit of a yellow cream, or well, the colour corresponding to the eye look that you're about to create, and just go in and start the blend of the eyeshadow. You can just go in and really start to pack in the colour on top of this, and it just seamlessly blends into the foundation. I'm using my fake Makeup Forever Flash palette, even though on the gram I tagged that it is the real one, but they won't know. Well, they will now. Now that you look this level of like horrifying, it's time to powder or beat the face. I am using the RCMA No Colour Powder. I find that it's the only one that gives me no flashback, and it doesn't lighten my makeup. I tried to use the Coty, but it would lighten the foundation below it, or like change the colour, and I don't really like that. I put the colours there for a reason, and I want them to stay like that. Do you know what I mean? And then I just buff that off, and below should be a beautiful work of art. So I like going in with a bit of dark tan mineralized skin finish from MAC just before we contour, just to warm up the face. Whenever you look at yourself in the mirror, you're just like, I am the most glamorous woman in the whole entire world, and you can't tell me different. But whenever you see like a different point of view or a different lighting setup, then you're like, I would love to change that. And it's good to like learn from your mistakes, you know. Now I'm going in with Harmony from MAC, and it is a cool toned contour colour. It's a blush, but it's great for contour. We were always told in MAC that that is the best for contour. And then going in with Film Noir from MAC, which is like a lot deeper. It's not for my kind of skin tone, it's definitely for deeper skin tone. But I use it just to reinforce my contours, just at the temples, at the high points, just where you want that little extra pinch. I just pinch this pointy part of my jaw too, just to feminize my features a little bit more. Again, glamorous woman, glamorous woman. If you just keep thinking it in your head, it might happen at some point. So now it is time for blush. I like to blush the tip of my nose. That's my favourite thing to blush. This is Modern Mandarin. I'm using it as like a base blush just to pop down a bit of colour to help my other blush blend out. This is what I would have done if we were given the time and didn't have to look like the Queen in 45 minutes after. So this blush is Frankly Scarlet. I think it's like the brightest red that MAC do. I'm just taking a wee bit of it and popping it right on the apples of the cheeks. Don't look evil though, but just like, oh, you're asking me to dance? Or something that they say in the Titanic. Oh Jack, I'm frostbit. And now I think it's time to move on to the eyes. Fab, so now we are going to go on to the eyes, and I'm going to go in and carve my crease out with like a dark brown shade. Going in with the darkest colour as well first, and then we'll blend out. I feel like this is just like a newfangled technique that I've recently gotten used to, and it really does help the colour impact. Because I'm doing spotlight eye as well, I'm doing it in more of a round shape. Normally I like to bring mine up, and I probably will a wee bit with the paler colours, but for now I'm kind of keeping it nice and round. And on a smaller brush, I'm going to go in with a mustardy golden tone, more of like a mid-tone, not the pure yellow. I'm just going to buff out these edges, and then just to finish off, I used a yellow tone just to buff out the edges, and I'm going to do the exact same again on the under eye, because I love a really smoky under eye, giving that a wee blend, cheeky wee blend, and then out into the yellow. So I just did my brows off camera, and I'm about to carve out my crease. And from there, I'm going to go back in and pop the same shadows from the actual look into this little area, starting with the kind of mid-tone. It'll just start off the blend. Don't worry if you're losing the definition in the crease, just go back in with your darker colour and get that definition back. Fab, so I'm going to go in with some liner just across the lash line. This is my favourite ever liner ever. It's MAC Brush Black. And because my brush black is so ruined, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Huda Beauty. It's their new liner, it's like a double-ended liner. Just for the inner corner, I like doing a wee bit of a cat eye. It just lengthens the eye for me. Then it is time for lashes and mascara. So now that the eyes are done and my lashes are on, these are just 2 pairs of Wada Drag lashes and a pair of Give Face Cosmetics lashes as well. I'm going to whisk off my bake, and then we will move on to our finishing touches. Today's look, I am going to incorporate a red lip. Harland & Wolff actually have like a little red box on them, which we didn't put onto our creams for some reason. So I'm going to incorporate that using the red lip. On the day, I couldn't do that because painting silver over a red lip would have been an absolute nightmare. I don't always have to do this, but I like going in with a little angled brush and just tidying up the edge so that it doesn't look so bumpy. I'm going to use this Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in the colour Heartbreaker for my lip, for a lovely red statement lip. First time I've ever used this. That is gorge, and it is basically matte already. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to add a bit of highlighter, the wig, the look, and I'll see you in about 2 seconds. I got no rules, I count them. And this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed my little ode to Harland & Wolff all the way back in beautiful Belfast. And I hope you enjoyed this video as well. If you want to see more of me, then follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. They'll all be linked down below, and I will see you next week for more Blues Beats.